Regina King shocked the world recently when she announced that her son had ended his life. Then things took an even sadder turn when everyone realized just how close Regina and her son really were, and you'll never believe the heartbreaking truth about Regina's loss. Ian Alexander Jr. was the only son of Regina King, and his father, Ian Alexander Sr., is also a famous music producer and former vice president at Warner Brothers. Ian Jr. was born in January 1996 before his parents got divorced after 10 years of marriage, a marriage that ended with shocking allegations of cheating against Ian Alexander Sr. from Regina. And even though Regina has said that Ian Jr.'s father has always supported them even after the divorce, we don't really know how close Ian Jr. was to his father or what the relationship was like after that. But what we do know is that Ian Jr. seems super close to his mom. Their relationship was actually so adorable, and I think that makes his passing all the more tragic. I mean, they even used to attend red carpet events together. They would comment on each other's Instagrams and shout each other out in interviews. And Regina once told People magazine that she had unconditional love for her son, and that it's the most fulfilling thing ever to have a child. So you can only imagine how heartbroken the whole family must have been, but especially Regina, who just seemed to be so close to her son. Even just by looking back over the last few years, you can see how much they loved and appreciated each other. First, you have Ian Jr.'s Instagram tribute to his mom on her 50th birthday. And by the way, you won't believe this, guys, but Regina's birthday is actually just 4 days before her son's. And according to reports, Ian Jr. had just turned 26 when he supposedly took his own life. So now Regina's birthday and her son's birthday will forever be a tragic reminder of their family's bitter loss. This whole thing is just incredibly sad. But as I was saying, Ian Jr. jumped on his Instagram last year for a huge birthday tribute post to his mom. He called her a superhero and said that he was inspired by her and all that she's achieved. And he also said that he was blown away by how she could be such a star, yet such a great mother. And then on New Year's Eve, less than a month before Ian Jr.'s devastating passing, Regina and Ian Jr. joined Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper on CNN New Year's Eve Live. And what was really weird about that appearance was that Regina introduced Ian Jr., but also introduced a mystery bonus son whose name is apparently Brandon. No one really knows for sure who Brandon is, but we did see Ian Jr. blowing Brandon a kiss as his mom spoke to Andy and Anderson about inclusivity and how their families had been brought together by Brandon and Ian Jr.'s lives together. So reading between the lines, we got a huge hint that Ian Jr. may have been gay, which was never confirmed despite all the speculation about his sexuality, because he kept his personal life pretty private and off social media. But clearly, Regina welcomed Brandon into their family, and I obviously don't know for sure, but it did seem like he might have been Ian Jr.'s boyfriend. It all just showed how much love Regina really had for her son. She was really supportive of him. Honestly, I feel like the two of them were just one of the sweetest mother and son pairs I've ever seen. But what's even more insane is that they even got matching arm tattoos. Regina and her son both got matching armaic tattoos, and Regina said that the meaning of the tattoos translates to unconditional love. So obviously, Regina and Ian Jr. were super tight, but it's kind of crazy how Ian Jr. went on to follow his father into the music industry because he was so inspired by his mom and much closer to her. So you would think that Ian Jr. would have wanted to become an actor like her. But no, Ian Jr. was really making a name for himself as DJ by the name of Destiny. He also began releasing music in April 2021 and was apparently working toward his debut EP. And what is really shocking about the timing of his passing is that his last Instagram post was actually a promotion for one of his upcoming DJ sets. He posted this just days before he took his own life, and it's all just so sad. It really makes you wonder just how he must have been feeling at that point and what he must have been going through in his final days. We did actually get some sort of insight in his last few tweets that he put out there only a few days before his birthday. He said that he didn't think that Instagram was healthy for him, and he made a pretty dark reference to an episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob was basically going crazy. So it seems that mentally things were just getting too much for Ian Jr. because he sadly did what he did. Before those last few days and weeks, he used his social media to show off his very charismatic personality. He would post dancing videos, shots in nature, and some very entertaining captions. But what was unbelievable and adorable was Ian Jr.'s entirely separate Instagram account for his dog Earl. Not many people seem to know about the account, but it's clear from the post that Ian Jr. loved this dog, and I just hope Earl is in good hands and has been looked after since Ian Jr.'s passing. Ian Jr. also used to post some pretty cool abstract art that he was making. There are just a few pieces on his Instagram, but it gives you a sense of what used to make him happy. We know that Ian Alexander Jr. was a well-loved, charismatic young musician, artist, and DJ, and we know that he and his mom were super close right up until his tragic passing. So how has Regina King been coping since her son took his own life? Well, it's clear that she must have been heartbroken, as she actually took almost 6 months away from Hollywood. After initially releasing a statement confirming Ian Jr.'s passing and asking for consideration while the family came to terms with their devastating loss, she then took time away and had friends rally around her. Some people expressed their support online with touching tributes from the likes of Viola Davis, Janet Jackson, Missy Elliott, Cynthia Bailey, Josh Gad, and Lonnie Love. But Regina also had a lot of support offline from close friends and family, including Vivica A. Fox, who said that the weekend of Ian Alexander Jr.'s passing was one of the longest of her life. And so, with the support and love she received, Regina bravely faced the world for the first time again in June 2022. As an honoree and co-winner of the Women in Power Prize at the Filming Italy Festival Awards in Sicily, Regina was pictured smiling and looking well, along with her friend Naomi Harris. But we know what a tough few months this must have been for her. I think Regina has done incredibly well to be back on the scene less than 6 months after the heartbreaking loss of her son. Things like this are obviously extremely difficult, and I can't even begin to imagine how she must still be feeling to this day. I honestly wish her the best, but I know that things will probably never be the same for her. But what do you guys think? Did you know that Regina and her son were so close? How do you think her career might change after such a tragic loss? Let me know in the comments.